dude.
Whoa! Right guys, so today I have my deadlift workout today. I'm going to show you guys it. Sort of like raw, walk you through my thought process. I have just now, this is 551 on the bar. Once I get to about 485 or the 4 reds, I make smaller jumps now. So only like 15 kilo jumps at the very most. So I'm gonna work up to like a heavy top set, see how I'm feeling today. I really know sort of how I'm feeling around like the 640-ish mark on deadlift. So we'll kind of just see like what I have on today. I'll take you guys through that. Right guys, so I just got done with my deadlifts. I did a single, well actually I did 2 singles basically. I did 650 at 7.5, and I felt like my technique was not very good. So I redid it and did like 660, and that was like RP 8. So I'm really happy with that because like last week I did 705, that was an all-time PR, and I tend to hold a lot of fatigue from deadlifts. Like I was really sore today, felt, you know, not the best. But like my down test was really well with 308. It was sorry with my 3x8 with 490.96. Then I did like a 2x10 with just like 319 on RDLs. Just I don't really love those for heavy. It's just like practice hip hinging and that motion. But yeah, overall like a pretty good deadlift day. Now I have deadlift accessories, like with just like pull accessories. But overall, like how deadlifts have been progressing. I think the biggest thing for me with the recent progress has been just like backing off more on the intensity front on my down sets too. Just becoming a little more objective with my deadlift instead of trying to force weights a lot. So really happy with that. Just going to be focusing on like I'm not going to be going like much above 700 like really much ever again until my meet. Like I want to feel good on meet day and carry this momentum. So for me, I know that means me saying 6 to 8 RPE on those singles consistently, so I don't fatigue myself. Also with my injury history with like my lat, I can't push deadlift very hard. I know that. So I'm gonna move on to accessories, but yeah.
Program for me. My lower back has never felt better. Just saying. He didn't tell me to say this.
No, I just put this in.
Are you recording?
Yeah,
actually?
I'm recording.
Yeah.
Say hi to YouTube. This is Tanner.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, Are you?
Hire Adam as your coach. Get you fucking strong.
Yeah, but like that's the big thing with powerlifting is like not having your back be all wrecked all the time.
For me, that's like the biggest. Like the biggest thing. If my lower back is healed, I'm good to squat and deadlift and mix it.
Bench even sucks too. Like you can't arch.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of bench, let's see this set. Dude, leg tension was so much better there.
That felt good.
Leg tension was so much better.
I was moving.
It was moving. So basically, just so like, how I program is like 1 or 2 heavy top sets. Then like all of the back end work should be pretty groovy. Because that's how you make the best progress.
Oh yeah.
Nobody cares about what your back down sets are. That's the majority of the strength stimulus still, the majority of the volume. So don't overshoot. Like in general, like on deadlift and squat, like sticking RPE 5 to 7 on back downs, and then bench press 6 to 8 is a good idea. All right, so I want to do a little bit of a voiceover over this last part of this workout. So it's just like after my accessory movements, basically I do after my deadlifts and my straight leg deadlifts. Definitely feel pretty beat after my volume. Just like for guys that know, like doing volume work like 3x8 at like an RPE like 7 is more fatiguing than like a single at 7 because you're gonna have more sources of fatigue. So instead of just having nervous system fatigue being they primarily culprit, you're going out also like cardiovascular fatigue, muscular fatigue, also being in the in the equation. So like also like if you're really strong, doing like 500 like I am for sets of 8, it's just like the metabolic demand of that, the energy expenditure is pretty high, and so it's like running like a 200-meter dash in that set. So that's sort of like I do take a little bit of time after I get done with my deadlifts to like chill out a little bit so I can get I can actually focus on crushing my accessories. But in this video I wanted to sort of go over like what I think about when I deadlift in terms of like cues. So like I want to be very clear that I am very proficient at this lift, and so at this point I am sort of moved to unconscious competence, which basically means I know what I'm doing. I don't really think about much. I think the main things I do think about, I'm going to tell you then just like some other general deadlift advice. So the one thing that I do really think about is like two things is really pushing hard off the floor / leg pressing the floor away from you. So one of the big things that people get wrong about a deadlift is that they think it's more of a pull than a push. And obviously, we characterize it kind of oxymoronically as a pull when it's actually more of a push off the floor. Your legs get the barbell moving off the floor. And your lats and your back just help out with keeping the bar close to your body. And then with that last degree of hip extension, once you do get to basically trying to lock out the deadlift. So a good cue is thinking of leg pressing the floor away from you when you are deadlifting. It's going to help you out so much with being able to be in a better position and being able to actually deadlift more weight and whatnot. Just be in a better position overall. The second one goes hand in hand with this, and this is basically letting your arms hang loose / dangle. And if you look at my deadlifts, you can kind of see how when I go down and I grab the bar, I sort of pull up on the bar a little bit with my hands. I allow my scapula to protract / depress a little bit more to just like lengthen, and then I keep my arms relaxed and along with my shoulders kind of forward, and just really rely on my legs and I sort of trust that my upper back muscles are going to engage as much as they have to in order to keep the bar close to my body. Um, this is something that can be kind of difficult to understand if you're not really used to it, but essentially, you don't. This is going to basically maximize the reach that you have between yourself and the barbell, and allowing you to essentially be able to keep your hips a little bit closer to the bar. Um, so don't over grip the bar and allowing for like some of that upper back grounding or letting your this upper back be kind of a little more loose. Like don't like retract your scapula. That's not how you want to create tightness. One cue that can help out with this is actually thinking of just putting your pinkies up into the bar. This applies to both a mixed grip or a hook grip. That is what I would recommend doing. That can really help you out with understanding how to keep those shoulders um, relaxed and those arms long. Um, and another one that I do have is basically how you're flying foot pressure off the floor. So the leg press is, sorry, the deadlift is like two phases. I think of it as a leg press off the floor and then more of a hinge slash RDL towards like once you get to around your knees. And so one thing that will really help people out, especially like sumo deadlifters, but this also will help conventional pullers, is off the floor, rising a little more of that full foot pressure until you get the bar moving and the bar breaks the floor, and then shifting some of that loading emphasis onto your heels. That's going to allow you to basically hip extension, have a little bit more effective hip extension, and get your hips through a little bit better. Um, as you are going towards lockout. Now, another cue that is going to go hand in hand with this is thinking of standing tall at lockout. One of the things that people will do wrongly on the deadlift is that as they approach lockout, they will lean back too much and they will have their shoulders back behind the bar. And once that kind of happens, like you are losing leverage against the bar. Um, and yes, you want to, you do need to have your hips through, but if you just think of standing tall, your hips are going to go through anyways. So thinking about keeping those shoulders over the bar and really just stand tall at lockout, allow for that upper back to extend, and just your hips are going to go through as they need to in order to get that. So like don't scoop your hips under the bar. Just keep that standing tall and trust that you're going to be able to lock out effectively. So those are really my main deadlift cues that I sort of give to a lot of my lifters. It's a little more complicated. Obviously, if you guys do want like more individualized help, I do have coaching for that to help you out in understanding how to move for yourself. Um, but for this last part, the voiceover, I thought I'd give you just a little bit of an update on how the bulk is going, how far I am for my meet, what sort of plans are, and like what I've noticed recently with my training. So bulk is going pretty well. But I had COVID. I lost a pretty good amount of weight, got pretty depleted, back down to like I had some weigh-ins like 188, 189. But that was like very temporary. And it was a very surprising drop, especially because I increased calories and lower down steps, and I just had a big weight drop. But I've just been bulking, gained about 1.4 pounds in the first month that I have been bulking. So basically, we'd be right on track. I want to keep that rate of gain going into my meet. I've talked about this extensively in other videos, but bulking is like eating more calories will help you grow more muscle in the sense that it helps your recovery, helps you to progressively train. Just eating more will not get you bigger. It's your training stimulus that will actually get you bigger. So really just nailing your training and attacking your workouts like an absolute freaking animal is going to grow that muscle. And that calorie surplus will help you out with basically getting a little bit, better recovery, a little bit better overall training results. So that's sort of what's going on right now. In my current training, what I've noticed is that I respond really well to the majority of my sets being in that 5 to 10 rep range. So it helps me like manage my fatigue. So the majority of my volume, my down sets are within that 5 to 10 reps. And then I just throw like, heavier tops between like 1 to 5. And that seems to be what I progress with well. But overall, like training is going great. This really does feel like I'm making new gains again. I'm finally eating enough to be in a surplus. Also did download Macro Factor, which is a great app that was created by Greg Knuckles and Eric Trexler, the Stronger by Science crew, to also like offload some of that stress for me in terms of coaching. Is one of the biggest values of coaching. Why I have a coach is because I just want to be an athlete. I just want to be able to execute my process, do what my coach says, and not worry about it. And I find that does lead to better results and less overthinking during the process. So that's really been and just seeing like these performance trends and like me looking bigger really helps ease a lot of my anxiety around gaining weight. And I like being lean. It's not hard for me, and gaining weight tends to be hard. So just thinking about the long-term goal. I want to be at least 195 by my meet in May 13th. So I just want to keep eating, keep training hard, having a ton of fun in training right now. But if you guys have any questions, just ask them in the comments down below. If you guys are interested in coaching programs, AdamDPFitness.com or DM me on Instagram, AdamDPeeler.